Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. I want to especially thank Gen Z, We Want to Live, this youth group that has shown great leadership, great bravery. Hold the microphone. Is that better? Yeah! I want to say special thanks to Gen Z, We Want to Live, a youth organization that has shown leadership and bravery in this time that other leaders that we have expectations of, we've been let down. My name is Carla Moreira. My pronouns are she, her. I carry many identities and labels. I am straight, I'm highly educated, I'm a physician, I'm actually a vascular surgeon. I'm a woman, I'm a black woman, I'm a wife, I'm a mother of 2 little boys. I'm a first-generation immigrant. But I also know that I am more than the sums of my identity. And the only identity that should matter is the fact that I am a human being. Unfortunately, we have lived in a society where being human is not enough. These identities shape every aspect of my life. I acknowledge that, as I said, being able-bodied, being highly educated, being a surgeon gives me a lot of privilege. But if I was to take off this white coat, what are some of the privileges that will remain? I think the answer to that has been eloquently spoken by the speakers that preceded me. Unfortunately, as I said, being a black woman has subjected me to discrimination and systemic racism, which puts my health and my life at higher risk. Never in my wildest dream did I imagine the events of this year, or that I would be here speaking with everyone here. We are here in the middle of a pandemic, and not too long ago, I was actually on TV, I was on the radio. I was insisting and telling everybody to follow the guidelines, social distancing, wear your mask. But I'm here now, and I'm conflicted about that, because I understand that those things save lives. They save lives in my community, the people that have been disproportionately affected by this pandemic. But at the same time, we cannot ignore that this time has to be different, because we have to make a difference. We are here because we are moved to action. So where do we go from here? As healthcare providers, and I want to speak specifically to the healthcare providers that are here but in the state, we must acknowledge the ugly history of racism in medicine. We must acknowledge that we have been complicit in maintaining the system with our action and our inaction, with our silence, with our bias and our prejudice that we bring to work every day. We must commit to recognize these and to dismantle the system that historically dehumanized, oppressed, and have killed black people, people of color, but marginalized people, poor white people, okay, uninsured people. Our system is killing them. We have to all recognize that this system that affects one of us is affecting all of us. I don't have the answers, but I believe that being here and taking this pledge, and that this is a good start. Another is to stop pretending. Again, I'm speaking to the healthcare workers and the healthcare systems and those who lead the healthcare system. We have to pretend that we practice colorblind medicine. The evidence shows that we do not. We practice racialized medicine. That is why every metric that we use to measure health outcomes in the United States, the state of Rhode Island, every metric shows large disparity among racial lines. Being black is not a risk factor. There is no genetic basis. But we know that these disparities start very early. They start before we're even born. And people have spoken here today about maternal health, infant mortality rate, access to nutrition, water, access to preschool, access to education, housing, healthcare. These are the basic civil rights. Not all of us in this society have the privilege to have access to those things. Basically, every aspect of our lives is impacted by systemic racism. And some of us benefit from it, but it's about time that we recognize that and we start working on dismantling that system. Again, I go back to my physician, nurses, therapists, my colleagues. We have been failing in our duties to care for our Black and minority patients by ignoring these facts. Even when our intentions are good and we say that we are not racist, we fail our patients because we do not put their experience in the context, the historical context that says that systemic racism has framed every aspect of American life. We say Black lives matter, not because we believe that other lives don't matter. We say Black lives matter because, for a very long time, Black lives have not been prioritized, and they've been disproportionately affected. As I'm a surgeon, so as a heart surgeon or a brain surgeon, like Matt here, trauma surgeon, they understand that all of the systems that they work in are important. But when there is hemorrhage, when there is a stroke, when there's a heart attack, they prioritize what needs to be prioritized. So we need to prioritize Black lives, because those are the ones that are right now. And this work cannot just fall to the minority healthcare workers and the patients. We all must come together. Over this last few weeks, many of my white colleagues and non-Black colleagues have come to me and asked me how they can help. And my answer has varied, but essentially we come to the same place. Recognize me, recognize my humanity. See me as you would see yourself. Treat me as you would treat your own family members. Like I said, being a human being should be enough. Personal story. When I was a medical student and I was just deciding what kind of doctor to be, I heard very powerful words that really kind of crystallized and told me that's the kind of doctor I wanted to be. My chairman then, in a conference room, said a surgeon is the conscience of the hospital. Immediately, that really resonated with me because I wanted to be that person that always did the right thing no matter what. I saw it as my duty and my responsibility to take care of my patients no matter what. And those have guided my practice to this day. So now, as I say those things, I say that healthcare workers, we must be the conscious because we don't practice just in the clinic. We don't practice medicine in a vacuum. Okay? We practice medicine in the community. And we must then become the conscious of our community. We must do better, and we can do better. Things will only get better because we are going to get better. From this day on, we are going to be committed to, again, dismantling, recognizing those privileges, recognizing those biases, and we're going to find ways to work and figure out how we can provide better care to all of our patients, our Black patients, our brown patients, to those marginalized for far too long. And now, not just to the healthcare workers, I'm going to speak to the very few, to those that have way more power than I have, to the leadership in medicine, our healthcare system. I want to implore you right now, join this movement. Listen to the voices of these young people, the people that say they only want to live. To all the deans and the chairs and department heads, let your legacy be that you built a better department, that you built a better school system, that you built a better division. Supporting the faculty to create a more resilient workforce. This future is coming, and it's going to come with or without you. Let that be your legacy. That you did not maintain the status quo, but that you were a transformative leader, and that you saw the opportunity, and you made a difference in your leadership. Make it your legacy that you saw that injustice and you are working to correct that with your staff, with your department, with your hospital system. And for us, for all of us who are not in healthcare, I want to leave you one of my favorite quotes. Again, another quote that has really kind of guided me. It's a quote from Martin Luther King. He said, "Make a career of humanity. Commit yourself to the struggle of equal rights." We must all do that. We have to make that commitment today, because the only things that are going to get different is when we are different and we get better. So with that, I say Black Lives Matter. Thank you. Thank you so much.